Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, I'm over here where we're going to be cooking sorghum. We got our furnace made. I hadn't really showed y'all anything of how I built the furnace through the building of it, but I want to show it to you today before we set the pan on and go over what I plan to do as far as cooking. So what we did, this is our furnace. Now our pan is a 10-foot pan, evaporator pan. So I built this furnace out of 2x2 tubing and of course boxed it with this metal, and we put a floor in it. And originally I was going to build a firebox and build this out of block like I've done in the past, but I thought I'd try gas. I run across these burners. These are 200,000 BTU burners, so that'd be 400,000 BTUs between these two burners. And then I've got a smaller burner I can put here on the finish end if I need it. So we've got it sealed up pretty good, except for access for the burners, and if we need to cover that up we can. And we're going to put the pan on here in a minute and see what it looks like, because we want to do a test run with the pan. We've got to clean it anyway. We'll put some water in it and we'll see how good it boils, and we'll do a test run on it and get it. We got to get it cleaned up and everything. I don't want to be the day we put the juice in to be the first time we try this out. But as you can see at the bottom, I poured 2 footers, 12-inch footers that the furnace is sitting on. And then we've got the furnace made out of metal, and we're going to put the pan on it. Now this end of the furnace is 1.5 inches taller than this end, and this is the end that the juice is going to come in on. So we want the juice deeper down here when it comes in green than what it will be when it comes off the pan up here in the finished product. So I've got a slant on it. That should be right, but if it's not, we can shim the bottom of it and whatever we need to do to get our elevation right on it. But that's what we're going to try to do, and we'll show you with the pan on it, and then we'll be back with a test run to show you how it cooks before we actually put some juice in here. So I stopped and looked at the cane on the way over here, and it's getting there. It's really close. You can see on the stalk where it's starting to get some starch on it. It's kind of white, a white chalky substance. That's the starch in the cane, and that's visible. And if you look at the heads are turning brown, and the seed are getting pretty doughy. You want them to be in the dough. You don't want them to be juicy. You want it to be good and right. And it's about there. By the time we get ready, it's going to be ready. But it doesn't have to be made right then. It needs to be right before you do it. But once it gets right, it's good from that point on until we get a killing frost or something. After you get a killing frost and it's standing in the field, it's not really going to make anything. But we're going to try to be ready when it's ready, so we can try this out and see what we can get done. We need to get it done and over with anyway, because we're going to be shelling corn. So we'll be back here in a minute when we got the pan on the. Okay, we're back. We've got the pan set on the furnace. We've got it squared up. They got about a 2.5 inch hangover over either side, front and back. The front and the back does not have a hangover, so we'll be able to heat right up to it. The idea of having a hangover on the side of the furnace is you want your heat out here, and you want to be able to cook out here, and as it boils it'll bump to the side, and you want your skimmings to collect along this side so you can get the skimmings off of it. So we'll take some heat away from the very edge of this, and that'll allow the skimmings to bump up to the side. But this is like I said earlier, a 10-foot evaporator pan. The juice will come in back here on this corner on the far side, And well, we can actually put it on either side, it doesn't matter. We'll probably put it in on this side, but it makes its way through from bar to bar, and as it comes forward, it'll be at a different stage of cooking. And by the time we get up here to the last section, especially these last 2 bars, if it's cooking good, will be almost always a finished molasses. So and during that process, we're evaporating all the water and everything out of it, and we're cooking it down. So we're going to fill this thing up with water and see if we can, if we've got everything set right. I think it's going to be pretty close. The way I like to do it is if I'm level to the top of this bar on this end, which is about 1 3/4 inches, then we'll have somewhere between 1/2 to 3/4 inch deep up here. And like I said earlier, we want more, we want it deeper back there than you do on the finished end. So we'll fill it up with water. Of course, we've got to clean it. This thing's been in storage for about 12 years. So it needs to be cleaned up. And you can even see some evidence of some starch on it from the last time it was used. And we'll clean all this up and get it good and shiny. And we'll get some water in it, and we'll give it a trial run and see how well it's going to boil. The finished product, of course, will come out here. We got a brass shutoff valve here, and as we open this valve, it would pour out right here into the container that we're catching it in. So that's it for today. We'll be back at the next part of this video. It'll be a different day, and we'll be back with, we'll have some water on the pan, and we'll be trying it out. Alright guys, we're back. It's a couple days later from when we started this video. I just wanted to show you. We've got the pan full of water. We haven't cleaned the pan yet. I want to put water in it, see if it was set pretty much like I wanted it. And it's really good. We've got about 22 gallons of water in it, and it's about a 1/2 inch deep up here when it's level with that bar in the back. And we've turned the burners on, and they've been running for 2 minutes, and you can see right there, it's starting to bubble just a little bit in the bottom. I think it's going to boil pretty quick. You see these burners under there? Now I've got them turned up pretty good. And of course, we got adjustments on them here. We can turn them down if we get too hot. But we got this one, and we got this one. And they're cooking pretty good. So we're at 4 minutes now. And it's steaming pretty good. A lot of steam coming off this. I don't know if you can tell. It shows up too good, but it is boiling right there. Of course, the water's not as deep right here as what it is back here, and it's just about to boil there. It took 8 minutes to get her to boil in there in the middle. So that's our setup with our furnace and our pan. And like I said, I'm going to add another burner up here on the end, but I think it's going to do really good. I'm really pleased. I was expecting it to take a little longer to boil than what it did. 8 minutes is pretty good. I was figuring more around 20, but I know we have fought it a lot longer than that when we was firing with wood to get it to boil. So I'm really happy with that. And hopefully here in about a week and a half, We'll have some juice on there and we'll be cooking some sorghum. But I just wanted to show y'all my furnace and how we had it set up. And I'll show you one more thing. Of course, this is where we'll be drawing it off, and it'll go into the container here. If you watch the video when we're making, you'll see all that. But this, I'm gonna put a walk platform right here, so it can be up a little bit higher, and just in case it rains between now and then and gets muddy, it will be out of the mud, and we're boiling good. I like it. Well guys, that's the furnace and the evaporator pan. We're gonna be cooking on gas. You've seen the cane. We'll look at it again before we cut it or as we're cutting it. And my meal right now is in the shop at the house. I gotta do a little work on it, and I'll show you all about that and how it operates and how we've got it set up after I get the repairs made and we get it over here and get set up and ready to grind. But I look forward to trying this out. I look forward to seeing how things turn out, and I hope you do too, and I hope you're watching and following along. But guys, I appreciate you being here, and as always, we'll see you next time.